Greetings. This is Bentzedek Bentora from Debt Relief Fighters, and we're here and we're going to take a look once again at the CPS, also known as Child Protective Service, but I call it Child Pimp Service because that's what it is. Before I get started, I have to make this disclaimer. I am not an attorney nor a lawyer. I do not practice law, never have, never will. If you need legal advice, please find yourself a reputable, reliable attorney if you can. No pun intended. All right, so let's get started. We have done part 1, part 2 of videos concerning the CPS PIMP service, what it is and what it's not. Well, today we're going to look at what is known as common law versus statute. Okay? First of all, you must know that our rights does not come from the United States Constitution. Our rights are unalienable. They're inherent. Unalienable means they were given to us by our Creator, okay? The one who created life in itself. He gave us these rights. And the word rights just means duty. So when someone say, it is my right of such and such, it's unalienable, meaning it's their duty to do whatever, okay? Our rights also are inherent, meaning from the moment we leave our mother's womb, we have the same right, okay? The Almighty put us on this earth to worship Him, to have life, liberty, and to pursue blessedness, some people call happiness, okay? These are our fundamental basic rights, okay? Nobody could take those rights. The only time those rights are forfeited is when we break what is known as common law. For example, we should not commit murder. We should not steal nor commit any fraud. In a nutshell, if we harm somebody, we're supposed to restore them. If we didn't harm anybody in any way or form, then there's no restoration. That's common law. Okay, so what happened? The people invented what is known as government, and the government is supposed to protect the people's rights. That's the only role of government, to protect people's rights and to protect our borders. Okay, what the CPS does, they do not operate under common law or in court. Okay, what they do, they operate under what is known as provisions or statute. Now, statute does not apply to we the people unless we consent to them. Okay, remember that. Statute does not apply to us unless we consent to them. Okay? For example, the United States Supreme Court noted a thing which is known as, concerning statute, they refer to it as an internal affairs doctrine. What that means is statutes are made by legislators. Okay? The legislators who makes these statutes are the only ones who could enforce them. Okay? And the bylaws of this corporation only applies to members of the corporation. They do not apply to anyone outside of the corporation. And the reason why it applies to these members of the corporations are because obviously they consent to it. Real quick, let me give you a point. Can Walmart force anyone to do business with them? No. However, we are free to sign up with Walmart. Let's say you go and you apply for a job at Walmart, right? They give you an application, you fill out the application, and after the interview and everything, they give you what is known as a policy handbook. The word policy is a code word that means interest. Okay, these are the bylaws that governs the corporation. Now, at the end, if you agree after you read it, then you sign and date. While you sign that policy handbook, you're saying to Walmart, I agree to all your bylaws and your terms. Okay? Let's say one of those bylaws or provision states, look, no one is allowed to be seen using their cell phone during working hours. Otherwise, you can be given an oral reprimand, you could be suspended, or you could be terminated. Once you sign that bylaw, that policy handbook, you agree to the term. So let's say after you start working, someone catch you playing around on the phone during working hours and they refer you to one of your supervisor or whosoever. Those people could enforce the rules of the corporation that you agree to, okay? They could give you an oral warning, they could suspend you, or they could terminate you. Is that correct? Yes, because you agree to the corporation's by rule. Now, that's the same thing with statutes, any statute, including CPS. The CPS statute does not apply to you or we the people unless you consent to it. And you have to consent to it voluntarily, not under duress, okay? 99% of the time, people have no clue about these statutes, okay? So they force them upon you. They are known as color of law. They take you into what is known as kangaroo tribunals. What is a kangaroo court? Well, Black's Law Dictionary define it, I'm just paraphrasing, as a sham proceeding in which rights are disregarded, okay? They don't care about your rights. They do not care about the Constitution and the law. They just do whatever is in their best interest. Okay, these are not courts. They do not have any jurisdiction over you. And do you know, when they summons you or force you to come to these tribunals, which are not courts, okay? They're not courts. When they send you to come to these tribunals, many people don't even know that, you know, when you go, you're supposed to let them know that you're there under special appearance, okay? And the reason why you're there under special appearance is to challenge the jurisdiction of the tribunal. You have a right to that. That's a basic right. Okay. If you do not let them know about special appearance, they'll assume that you're there under what is known as general appearance. Once you do a general appearance, then you waive all the jurisdiction challenges. Okay. A special appearance is, you have a right for a special appearance. There's a case law known as State versus Holland that states that you can do that, okay? Another thing, once this tribunal does not allow you to have a common law court, okay, they are void of jurisdiction. They do not have any jurisdiction, neither personal nor subject matter jurisdiction, if they do not allow you to have a common law court. What is a common law court? It's an Article 3 court of record where all your rights, your common law rights are protected. Number one, in an Article 3, a real common law court, you have a right of a trial by jury. Not jury trial, but a trial by jury. What's the difference? A jury trial is one in which the judge, the prosecutor, they all tamper with the jury and tell them what is the law, and oftentimes what they're telling them is law is not law. Okay, but in a trial by jury, that's exactly what it is. The juries are the trier of the facts and the law. Okay, the so-called administrator who is there, that's his job or her job, just to administrate and see to it that the common law or the real law is being followed. They don't do this. Why? Because there are 45 CFR contractual agents working for an agency that do business with the state for federal funding. So therefore, all your rights are disregarded. Nobody care, okay? Nobody cares. So you have to enforce your rights. These people have no jurisdiction, okay? The common law is the real law of the land. And like I said, if they're to follow the Constitution, they cannot get away with what they're doing. So they disregard them and rely on the ignorance of the people. So remember, CPS have no jurisdiction over you nor your offspring, and unless you consent to it. And 99% of the time, the people do not consent to it. Like I said, if you need our help, hit us back, and we will help you. Bentzedek@hotmail.com. So I'm going to sign off for now. Bye.